Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be reviewing the Legends second year anniversary, and in advance I'm going to apologize if this ends up turning into a rant-ish video. This might actually end up being a little bit longer than normal just because there's a lot to go through here. I wanted to do this video earlier, but I figured it would be more fair to the game if I waited until pretty much the end of the anniversary to start doing this video. Now, I'm recording this video on July 2nd, so at this point, I think we pretty much have the entire anniversary available to us. It's possible we do get something next week. I expect the Blue, Vegeta, and Goku to release next week. I don't think that's going to be technically part of the anniversary. I think it's going to be its own UST banner, but it's not confirmed. In VJump, they didn't say whether or not it was going to be a UST banner or not. It could be part of the anniversary. They might brand it as, like, you know, anniversary, I don't know, like gods or something. But at this point, we pretty much know the entirety of the anniversary. So in this video, I'm going to try and be as objective as possible while I talk about, you know, the units that came out, all the events that came out, returning events, co-op, you know, quality of life changes, all the stuff that happened. So I think what we'll do is we'll start with the units, because I think that's probably the, you know, the forefront on everyone's mind. That's, you know, that's like the headline of the anniversary is Vegito Blue, right? So all the units that came out with him, we'll talk about those, and then we'll go and talk about the events and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and start talking about these units. Okay, so right off the bat, I think we're gonna split up basically the super units versus the GT units. We'll start with the super units. We'll leave Vegito Blue for last. So the gap between the super units and the GT units in terms of power level, I think, is actually pretty large. Now, that's not to say Goku and Omega are bad units. They're definitely not. Please do not think I say they're bad. They're not bad. They're actually insanely good. But all of the units that were released during this anniversary celebration are just insanely good. Exactly the same as last year. All the units that were released last year were really good. And they're going to be, you know, they're going to age well. They're going to hold their ground pretty well in terms of the meta, their placement in the meta. And I don't know. I just feel like GT got the short end of the stick a little bit. And with Vegito Blue being like the best unit in the game, undisputed, I think at this point, if I was designing this, I would have maybe made Omega and Goku a little bit better than Trunks and Zamasu in order to make up for the fact that Vegito Blue was just, you know, he's on a different level when compared to these four. So that's what I would have done differently. But I mean, it's a little unfortunate that GT was kind of left in the dust while, you know, Future and God Key are just, like, you know, rampaging through PvP right now. So let's start with Trunks. Trunks, I think, is actually really good. I like Trunks a lot. He's well designed. He helps three teams that really needed it. He helps Vegeta Family, Future, and Hybrids. So I really have no complaints about Trunks. I think they did a great job with him. We'll talk about Zamasu now. Zamasu is probably one of the best units in the game. He's super annoying to fight against. He has a knockback on strike cover, and even if he doesn't get the knockback, he has sustained damage cut against blast. Then he also has one of the most annoying green cards in the game, and he has healing, and he does insane damage. His ult hits like a truck. I mean, this guy does everything. Literally everything. The only thing he doesn't do is support, pretty much. But I don't know, man. It's just... do people enjoy fighting against him? I don't know. It seems like these units are just so stupidly overpowered. Like, him and Vegito Blue specifically, I think these two are the best units that have come out for the anniversary. Trunks is good, but I don't think he's on the same level as, like, Zamasu or Vegito Blue. It's just... it's a lot. It's a lot. Goku is really good. I think is actually a little bit underrated, in my opinion. I've been using this guy a lot this season. I think more so than GT, he actually fits really well on a Saiyan/Sun family team with Kid Goku, because of the fact that Kid Goku does give Ki on switch out, and this guy does get Ki on switch out, and he automatically draws a blast card. It lets you extend combos like a lot, and I like that a lot with this guy. So I do think Goku's really good. He doesn't do as much damage as I would have liked in some situations, which is why I think people think, oh yeah, he's not very good, but I think in reality he's actually really good. Now, Omega Shenron. This is a prime example of a unit that is just... it's just unfortunate, I guess. He's a product of the time, where he's red and he's a fusion warrior, which means that he's literally just Vegito Blue food. Like, Vegito Blue kills this guy in like 3 strike cards. Like, he's just dead. And this guy, it's sad because he has like one of the best green cards in the game. He's one of the best ultimates in the game. He has a unique mechanic where he actually gets stronger depending on the amount of Dragon Balls that he holds, but none of that stuff matters if he's just going to die in like 2 hits, right? But I do think this guy's going to be a lot better down the road, because there's going to be a time where this guy is is not going to be in every match, right? There just has to be a time when that happens. So when that happens, this guy's going to become better. Maybe when like they start releasing more like super powerful green units, and this guy starts to get pushed out of the meta, then we'll start seeing units like Omega come up. And I mean, this guy, I mean, his kit is like one of the best in the game. So we'll see. It's just the GT team really needs a little bit more help than like something like Future or Godkey. Okay, so now we are going to get into Vegito Blue. I could make this a 20-minute long rant about Vegito Blue, but I'm not going to do that. Last year we saw dominance in PvP by Super Vegito. He was pretty easily the best unit in the game at that point, and later in that year, in 2019, we saw units that are on a similar power level come up, later on in the year, and he eventually got phased down in power. If that happens with Vegito Blue, where we start getting units that are like on a similar power level to him, like things are just going to get ridiculous. And I think one of the reasons why they are starting to reduce the crystals needed to Zenkai units is because they can't keep releasing units that are like as powerful as this guy. Because if they do, every unit that isn't Vegito Blue, including Zamasu, like all these guys, every single unit you see is just going to be obsolete, pretty much. It's just the difference in power level between Vegito Blue and like every other unit in the game, besides Zenkai 7 units and like maybe like Kid Goku, maybe like Merge Zamasu and LF Vegeta and like the very, very special units, it's massive. And it's not even the fact that his power level is so high that I think people have a problem with this guy, and even me. I think the main problem with this guy is just the way that he fights, his fighting style, the way that he was designed, I think is the big problem. Let me just pull him up here. We can see if we can pinpoint him. Like, I mean, look how long, this is insane, dude. Where is it? So, it's the fact, yeah, this. Actually, it's this whole part. The following effects occur upon landing a Strike Arts hit. Draw a Strike Arts card next. Instantly he's busted. Instantly. And this activates twice. And it resets. And restores the key by 5 and minus 100% to health restoration. So this little section down here, right? Oh, man. This is just not fun. I don't know how else to word this in a simpler way. This is just an oppressive design choice by whoever balances these characters. What they should have done is they shouldn't have had him be like this, and they should have just increased his damage if they wanted a character as busted as this guy is. I just think this is annoying. Like, it's not fun. Even using him, I mean, I've used Vegito Blue an awful lot, and it just doesn't feel fun to me with this being his primary, like, the way that you're supposed to use the character. It's like, you use a strike card, and he draws another one, you're like, oh, a strike card, you click a strike card, oh, another strike card, and you click the strike card again. And he has, like, a full hand of other cards, because he's just constantly drawing cards. Then he has this ult, which, by the way, does the only, this ult has the only supreme damage modifier in the game. And it nullifies everything, and it's, like, it's a stupid ultimate. The way that he fights is just oppressive. It's like hyper offensive. If you make one mistake, you're dead. And it's so easy to farm Rising Rush with this guy. Like, I've seen fights where this guy gets the Rising Rush in like 8 counts. Like, legitimately 8 counts. I don't know what's fun about that at all, and I can't think of anything that's fun about that. And I can't imagine that they sat down to playtest this guy and they were like, oh yeah, this guy seems fine. Let's release this guy how he is. There's no way. It's just, they knew what they were doing, and it's just not fun, in my opinion. And that's my rant on Vegito Blue for now. There's a lot more I can say about him. Do I think he's like so busted to the point where it's unplayable? No, I don't. It's definitely not fun though. Do I think he's a little bit too good? Yeah, probably. He's probably a little bit too good, but I wouldn't say he's busted to the point where, it makes the game not worth playing. I would say that his design and the way that his kit works makes the game unfun. That's what I would say. Okay, so now that we've talked about the main anniversary units that have released, we're going to go ahead and move on over to Twitter real quick, and I'm going to give a shout out to Spider, who compiled a list of all of the events events and like special things that have released during the anniversary. So shout out to Spider. we're going to go through this, and we're not going to obviously talk in detail about all of these things, but we're going to go through this, and I'll give my quick thoughts on everything that released. And by the way, keep in mind, this is only up through June. So we did not include any of the things that came out during the newest update a few days ago with like the EX Super Warrior stuff. So we'll go over that separately after this. Shenron is cool. I like that. I don't think that needs to change at all. I think the way it is fine. So that's good. This is just a rehash. This is the rehash from last year. This is just a filler banner, which was... There's no purpose to this at all. This is okay. I mean, it's not special at all. They literally just added one equip and were like, go farm it. It's not even that good of an equip. This is cool. I think this banner is actually pretty decent. And it does have a guaranteed sparking and 10% featured rate. So if you're missing someone like, you know, God Vegeta for your Vegeta family team or the God Goku for God Key, this banner actually was pretty good. So if you summon on the anniversary banners and you picked up everyone that you wanted from there, you could then shift over to this banner and summon, which wasn't a terrible idea. This PvP is a whole separate issue. I'm not going to go into it in this video, but this 3x RP needs to stop. It's cancerous. It's literally cancerous. And they know it's cancerous because we've told them it's cancerous like multiple times. And they definitely see our comments. They read it. On Twitter, you can tweet at Dragon Ball Legends Twitter account. They read those comments. They actually do. I know they do. And they've seen our comments criticizing this harshly over and over and over again, and they just don't care. So my guess is we'll see more of these 3x RP seasons eventually. Not looking forward to those at all. And yeah, unfortunate. Let's fight. I think this was what the third stage was implemented for the anniversary. I mean, it should be permanent. This is just a rehash. Monthly missions are fine. They happen even without the anniversary. This is just a rehash banner, whatever. Challenge Rush is cool. Always like Challenge Rush, even though it's not the most fun thing to fight the CPUs. I think, you know, getting the crystals is a good reward for that, so that's fine. This is a similar banner to the this one right here. So these are side by side. Again, very good banner, so that's fine. Rehash, Super Scout Battle, the same exact thing as this right here, with different units. We have this. This is sort of tied into the chance time thing. Let me just see. Is that a separate thing here? Probably is. Yeah, it's down here. We'll talk about chance time right now, just because it's in here. So nobody knows how this works. That's the big problem. Now, obviously, people know how it works, but I'd say the majority of players don't understand how this works. I get so many comments in my videos. I get so many people tagging me on Twitter being like, hey, I have this chance time ticket. Like, any idea how I can exchange this for something? Or how does this work? I heard you can get up to 10,000 criticals. Like, how can I enter? So I think this was just very poorly communicated to the player base. And yeah, there's a news section and stuff, but the news, go take a look at the news section for the chance time. Like, it's so long. Nobody's going to sit there and read that. And it really just served no purpose at all. I feel like it was just there to entice people to summon on this banner specifically, because this banner gave you more chance time tickets. And they were like, you know, you can get up to 10,000 Chrono Crystals for the chance time tickets. So I think it was just a giant bait. That's what I think. And it's obviously this chance time right here. We currently have the third round going on right now. People didn't even know that there were going to be 3 rounds of this thing. They randomly removed the chance time tickets from this banner like days before the chance time was even gonna, the raffle was even gonna happen. People didn't know that. It's just very poorly communicated with the player base, and I feel like that's the main problem with chance time. Free multi every day, obviously very good. There's pretty good units on this banner as well. I think I pulled like 2 sparkings in total from this the whole time, so rates suck, but it is what it is. Sales were insanely good, as always. I think this game, one of the strong suits that Legends has is the sales are always very good, but if you're a free-to-play player, that means nothing to you. Shallot, upgrade missions. So we can talk about just Super Saiyan God Shallot here, I guess, alongside this. So Shallot's very good. I think this is one of the better things they did during this anniversary, for sure. Shallot and Zenkai Trunks, which we'll get to at some point, but Shallot, Super Saiyan God, people were looking forward to this for a long time. I'm not a huge Shallot fan, personally. I don't know why. I just never got into Shallots a lot. I've seen a lot of people like him, so I don't know. But Shallot is a popular character. A lot of people are looking forward to this, and I think they delivered on Super Saiyan God Shallot, so I'm happy about that. This is just a rehash, I think. Yeah, this is the 50 stage Goku Black event, and these are the banners. We talk about the banners already. The banners are pretty much the exact same as last year. The Terror of God and the Absolute one. They're pretty much exactly the same. So Banners are good. EXs are good. The steps are good. All that stuff. Choice battle should be permanent. I don't know why it's not. We've been telling them this for over a year. What is this? Oh, this is where we got top grossing. I don't know why it took them like a week to acknowledge this, but it is what it is. The Omega Shenron event, another 50-stage event. Get more crystals. That's a good event. Zenkai Goku returning. Whatever. Doesn't matter. This is a rehash. Ultra Space Time Rush. Still to this day one of the worst events in the entire game. Nobody cares about this. You literally just auto your way through the entire event and don't even look at your phone once. Potentially the most boring thing I've ever done in a game. So this needs to be revamped or overhauled or something. Talked about this. Legends Super Saiyans. Not even gonna have to say anything about that. Same thing with this. Okay. So now we're getting to the Super Kyoken versus Pycon banner. The fact that this is this is even labeled Anniversary Rising Kyoken. Who thought of this? Who thought of this? And then for the the update that happened a few days ago, they on the new login bonus, they put this Pycon image on it. Yeah, Pycon is the face of the anniversary for sure. When I see Pycon's face, I just get so hyped. Let me tell you. I mean, Pycon sucks. I'm just gonna tell you guys right now. He sucks. He is probably... Actually, no, he's not probably. He is. He is the worst unit I've ever used on release. And it's an anniversary banner. What? I have no explanation. Goku is definitely way better than Pycon, but I wouldn't say Goku is exceptional. I would say he's solid. He's a good unit. I'm not gonna... You can't really knock Pycon, too much. I think he's good. Or sorry, you can't knock Goku too much. Sorry, you can knock Pycon a lot. Trust me, you can't knock Goku too much. I think Goku is fairly good. I've seen multiple arguments for why this came out during the anniversary, and the one that I saw that made sense to me was their ID numbers are indicative of the fact that they were supposed to release prior to the anniversary coming out, which makes sense because they did mention in the news that I believe at one point that due to the pandemic, their schedule might be a little bit, discombobulated, and things might be out of order in some places. So my theory is that this was supposed to release for Goku Day. For obviously the name of the thing was going to be Legends Rising Kyoken, but then they were like, oh, let's release to the anniversary and let's just change it to Anniversary Rising Kyoken. That's probably what they did. And then they also released this event, which is fine. The event is fine, but I mean, Pycon just sucks. He's terrible. He's terrible. And the fact that they didn't okay, so let's assume that theory is correct, and they were supposed to release prior to the anniversary. Please, you could have at least changed Pycon to be not terrible. Like at the last second, you could have been like, okay, you know what? Let's make him green, and let's give him some more stuff in his uniques, and give him a powerful opponent buff in his tag and his Z ability. That would have been all they had to do, and he would have been way better. So I don't know. It seems to me like they just don't care. That's the message I got from this. Adventures is fine. I think they've improved a lot with adventures, so I'm happy about that. It really doesn't take that much effort to do all the adventure missions now. Chance Time we talked about. This is really good. Probably one of the best things they did in this anniversary is the Legends, the revamp of Legends Road for Zenkai Trunks. What is this? This is just like the campaign overall. Okay. The Super Chrono Crystal stuff, I mean, this is just the same thing. I mean, if you're a paying player, I guess it was nice. It's very expensive, though. It was okay. I'm not going to talk too much about this. If you paid for it, you knew what you were paying for. It was whatever. Zenkai Gohan's whatever. Happy Weekend banner is good. I wouldn't really tie this to the anniversary, though, because this has been happening for like over a month now. Even before the anniversary started. I think it's a good banner. I think it's a good addition to the game for sure. This is tied to the Zenkai Trunks, and then we have this last season that's going on right now. Okay, let's go on to what we have going on here right now. Oh boy. Okay. So update contents for this past update. Z-Metal Exchange Shop update. Zenkai Souls have been added to the Exchange Shop lineup, making it easier to unlock your character's Zenkai Awakening panels. I don't know if you guys have seen, but they've updated the Z Metal Shop, like it says, and they added Zenkai Souls. Prior to this, the Z Metal Shop was pretty much useless to everybody. It only had equips in there, and it had EX Z power from like day one of the game releasing. It was so outdated. And they're like, okay, well, you know what? Because everybody's complaining about it, we're going to add Zenkai Souls there. And we know that everybody likes to farm Zenkai Souls or doesn't like farming Zenkai Souls, so we're going to give players a different avenue to try and collect these. Zenkai Souls for one Zenkai Soul, it is 50 Z medals. 50. That's not an exaggeration. It's 50. It's 50 Z medals for one. You guys know how much I spend in this game. We're actually going to take a look at this in a second once I'm loading it up on my phone right now. You guys know how much I summon in this game. I currently have almost 1.2 million Z medals on my account. Let's go over and take a look. Let's go over and take a look here real quick. 1.195 million Z medals. These cost 50. If I wanted to buy, let's say I wanted to spend all of my Z medals, okay? All of my Z medals buying these. I could buy 23,919 Zenkai Souls. That's about, that's not even 2 full characters fully soul boosted. I think with this amount of Zenkai Souls, I'd be able to not even soul boost 2 Zenkai characters fully. And then, go down here for a second. Look at this. Zenkai Soul 7. For some reason, they felt the need to make those 80. They were like, oh yeah, guess what? 50 Z medals isn't enough. We're going to make those 80. We hope you enjoy. We hope you continue enjoying to play Dragon Ball Legend. That's what they said. That's literally what they said. Now, obviously, it's better that they have these Zenkai Souls in the exchange shop rather than not having anything. But if you're gonna price these to be so absurd, so absurdly expensive, then it's more of a slap in the face than just not having them at all. That's my view, right? As somebody who has been asking for an update to the shop for a long time. And if you're somebody who doesn't even summon that much in this game, if you're somebody who's free to play, if you're somebody who doesn't have that many Z medals, this is useless to you because you're not gonna be able to afford this. There's no way. So I have a big problem with this. I saw this and I thought my game was bugged. I was like, wow, this is. I restarted my game. I was like, okay, well. Does it say 1? I thought that was a bug because there's been bugs before where I think values have been displayed incorrectly. So I'm like, okay. I think with the Zenny there was a bug where it was like negative Zenny or something, and all I had to do was restart my game. So I was like, okay, yeah, let me restart this game, and then I restarted the game, and it was the same thing. And I posted on Twitter. I was like, is this real? Like, is this for real? Because they posted this in the newsletter. The fact that they were going to. Update the Z Metal Shop with Zenkai Souls. I was like, okay, that's a good update, and certainly was not a good update. Certainly was not. Okay, so moving on, we got Zenkai Trunks. Now this is a good opportunity to talk about the new form of Zenkai that they're doing. It's obviously a lot better in terms of summoning, but I mean, where are the missions? How do you take out the missions? What is the point? Like, what? How do you just remove them? They were like, oh yeah, by the way, we're updating the Zenkai summoning here, but by the way, we're removing the possibility for you to get these guys Zenkai 1 free to play. Hope you guys understand. That's literally what they said. I cannot defend that at all. Like, sometimes I do try and defend their decisions because I think there is merit behind a lot of what they're doing. And behind the scenes, we don't know what they have planned in terms of future updates and whatnot. So I think sometimes it's unfair to criticize what they're trying to do too harshly. But this is unacceptable. The fact that they removed the only free to play method to get Zenkai level 1, and it's not like this Trunks Zenkai level 1 is like destroying the meta, because guess what? He's not at Zenkai level 1. This guy at Zenkai level 1 is like not even that good. So it's like, it's very bewildering that they are like, okay, yeah, we're gonna give you an easier time to summon for these Zenkai souls, or these Zenkai Z power, awakening power, whatever you want to call it. But in exchange, we're going to remove the missions. Like, right here. Characters that require a Zenkai Awakening from 7/1/2020 onward will no longer get the Zenkai Awakening missions. My question is, why? Like, tell me why. Just tell me why. Why? There is not a single reason you can give me as to why. There is not a single one. And then okay. This okay. Okay. I'm actually gonna make a cut here because I need to gather myself before I start talking about this event. They were actually high. They had to have been high when they made this event. When somebody conceptualized this event, like, they were either so high out of their mind, or they're actually just completely way more disconnected from the community than I even thought. Because this is probably the worst event I've ever seen, the worst designed event I've ever seen in the game's history. We can compare this directly to the Ginyu Force event, because even they compared this directly to the Ginyu Force event. They said in the newsletter, because even I remember looking at the newsletter and I was like, you know what, this has the potential to be like one of the best things in this anniversary. They give us a full team of EX units for free that we can grind up that are actually very good. I mean, last year this was easily one of the best things about the anniversary. They gave you 5 very, very good EX units here you can grind up for free. They were all really good. The team, you instantly had a team. I mean, you grinded this event and you had a team ready to go instantly. This is like, people bring up like the best things this game has ever done. I mean, this is up there. This is one of the choices you can say, and that if someone asks you that, like, what is the best thing this game's ever done? I mean, if you said this, I wouldn't say you're wrong. This is one of the best things I've ever done. And then they also gave you this Awakened equip, which was really good. Even as an A rank, this equip was like insane, right? You don't have to make this equip an S or a Z for it to be really, really good. You just slap this onto all the Ginyu Force members at the time, and they were like, the team was really good. You were doing tons of damage. The synergy was fine, and they brought this event back to farm the equips too, so it was really, really good. Then we go to this one, the Super Warrior event, Whoopee. And I'm actually really happy that they decided to go Super Warriors. Not being sarcastic, because this tag has been like super neglected since the game first came out. We up to this day, including right now, we have no usable Super Warrior team. So their solution was to release this event, which gives you 2 EXs. Not 5. 2. Not 5. Not 5. Not 5. Not 5. 2. Krillin and Tien. Now there's the Yamcha as well. You can farm up from co-op, but it's just so tedious. It's so tedious. Co-op is just so tedious. And it takes like 70 runs of co-op to get him, which is fine. I mean, that's basically the same thing that it did, that took you to get the Zenkai for Kid Goku and Trunks. So it's like, yeah, if you want the Yamcha, just suck it up and do it, which I can get that. So we'll say 3 EX units. What are you doing with 3 EX units of Super Warrior? What are you doing? Like, hold on, let's pull up the team. Watch this. Characters. Let's scroll all the way down. Yamcha, Super Warrior. Oh, look! There's only 5 units in the entire game that buff the Super Warrior Z ability. One of them's a hero unit that released day 1. One of them is a unit that hasn't come back in 400 years. Like, I'm convinced that this event is permanently discontinued. I'm convinced. Because if they wanted to bring this event back, there was no better time to do it than right now. I mean, you're pushing the team. You're pushing the tag, Super Warrior. Why would you not bring this event back? Why? Like, give me one reason. This event hasn't been back in like 15 months or something. It's like a year to 15 months. Where's the event? Where is it? This guy gives health to Super Warrior. This is like the most important bench unit for the team. Look at this. You can get him to 6-star right now. 19% health to Super Warrior. Unobtainable for over a year. He's been MIA for over a year. Why? Give me one reason. One reason. You can't think of a reason because there isn't any. Okay, so what's your team looking like? These 3 EXs. That's it? Like, this guy's on your bench. You got Hero Yamcha on your bench. I actually put... I haven't recorded the video yet, but I'm doing a video of this team, and I actually have Pycon on my bench because he buffs green and red, and the 2 main damage dealing units in the team are green and red, so that's why I have Pycon on the bench here. But I mean, this team is unusable, as opposed to last year when you had this event out. Instantly usable team. You just farmed them all up, and you were good to go. You used Green Ginyu as your 6th member, and you were good to go. So I don't know why there's a direct downgrade here, because they directly compare this event to the Ginyu Force event, but the Ginyu Force event was 100 billion times better than this. This is useless. This event's useless. Like they're trying to coax you into thinking that this is like, oh, these are going to be summonable units in the future, and we're letting you get a sneak peek at getting them right now. Like this is, it's in bold, it's in red, ahead of their release. Yeah, nobody cares. Let us farm the units to 14-star. I think they can only be farmed to 3-star, by the way, which is like, in a world where Merge Zamasu and Rage Trunks and Vegito Blue is running around, like, what is this guy going to really do at 3-star? The answer is die. That's the answer. This went from... Because when I saw this in the newsletter, again, I was like, okay, yeah, this could be like the saving grace for this anniversary for sure. If they're going to mimic the Ginyu Force event, like this is good. This is good news. I'm happy that they're doing this again. And now it's 3 units. This guy hasn't come back, and that's it. Nothing else. And then to make matters worse, look at this. You scroll down. There's a new equip, and then there's an Awakened equip. And guess what? The Awakened equip can only be used on Chaozu. This purple EX Chaozu from like day 1 of the game. Create the ultimate Chaozu with Awakened equipment. Like, they have to be trolling with this. This is no way. There's no way they actually think this is cool or funny in any way. Like, the theory that I had was they had a Chaozu created for this event, and at the last second they like scrapped it or something, and this is their placeholder or something. What they should have done, here's what they should have done, by the way. They should have had these guys here, so these 3 units. There should have been a Piccolo and a Chaozu. Because as you can see, Piccolo's on the Super Warrior tag, and Chaozu is on the Super Warrior tag. All they needed to do was add a new Chaozu and a new Piccolo. That would give you 5 units to use. That would make you at least have a viable team to run, instead of no team. So, it's mind-blowing. I don't understand what they're doing. I have no words for what's going on here. Honestly, I think I was able to explain with a reasonable degree of fairness that there was a lot of things in this anniversary that were actually fairly good. Like, let's go through this one more time. Zenkai Trunks was very good. I think Shallot, the god Shallot, was very good. The free multi stuff was good. The new events and stuff were fine. It just felt like there wasn't enough. Like, there wasn't enough new events going on. They brought a lot of events back, like Rising Battles and maybe like the Scout Battle and stuff, and like the Choice Battle, but not a lot of new stuff for like old-time players to really enjoy. So for me, I'm going to give this anniversary a thumbs down. I really didn't think this anniversary was really good, and stuff like this really puts a bad taste in my mouth. Like, really bad. Like, this sucks. Like, really bad. The new Zenkai is good if you're a paying player, but if you're a free-to-play player, this is terrible. This, like, why would you remove this? I was looking on the Japanese Twitter account, and I was looking at a lot of the comments there that a lot of the Japanese players were making. Every single comment is talking about the removal of the Zenkai missions. Every single comment. So it's possible they do change this moving forward. I'm sure they hear the feedback, but I don't know. They're clearly very disconnected from the player base. And then the fact that they have the nerve to even do this, 50 Z medals for 1 soul? Yeah, right. Thanks a lot. So that's going to be my rant for this second anniversary. I'd go ahead and give it a thumbs down. Overall, I think that this probably hurt the game more than it helped the game. And it's weird because I thought coming up to the anniversary, leading up to the anniversary, they made a lot of good changes, and the game was heading in a good direction for sure. I was actually really excited for the game because, you know, they were constantly improving the game. They're making a lot of quality of life updates, making a lot of other updates that were really helping out the game. And then we get to the anniversary, and they do this, they do this, they do this, and they do stuff like chance time and, you know, all this bullshit that nobody cares about. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with this game moving forward. I still have faith in the developers to, you know, improve the game. They're always listening. They're always improving the game, trying to improve the game. They're doing their best, I think. But I don't know. This anniversary really does not put me in a good mood, I guess, with this game right now. But I still have faith. Still hoping they improve the game moving forward. I will always be supportive of this game. I'm not going to be quitting the game or anything like that. Don't think I'm going to be quitting. If I didn't think the game could improve, then I would for sure quit. I would quit instantly. If I didn't think the game could get better, and I thought the game was like stuck in a rut or whatever, and not have a chance to even get better, then I would quit. Yes, for 100%. But the fact that I'm even making this video is me expressing my thoughts and opinions to anybody who wants to listen, so that we can maybe, you know, as a community, improve the game overall. That's my goal, because I do think the game can improve drastically. So I hope that we're able to do that soon. That's going to be this rant video for now. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one.